I mean, Lisa, obviously your friendship with Robin is very well documented. In fact, I think we mentioned it on the show a couple of weeks ago. Of course, there was the inquest into his death, and it was actually a piece of testimony that you had given for his inquest that was made public, and you had no idea that that would be made public. But you were clearly phenomenally close.
Yeah.
Can I ask me, what was there a moment you thought we just get on? Did you meet? Was it Strictly you met?
Yeah, on Strictly, and the original plan as dance partners on Strictly, me and Robin were never supposed to be together. Robin was supposed to be with Fern Britton, and I was supposed to be with out in Chivvensiv. And literally, when they had us in hiding and dancing, they saw that electricity that we had together, and the producers were like, "No, we're going to switch this up because these two have something so very special." And he was, is my one in a million friend. In meeting him, I just knew it. He was like my firework, and and like I said to you before when we were talking about him, I met my male me. Everyone would always say that we were like the original Will and Grace, and that was always music to my ears. So yeah, thank you for how you dealt with it last week on the show when it was, the inquest, and it's been really hard since he passed, and it's been 2 years. Last Thursday was the anniversary. 2 years have gone by, and you think to yourself, how could I have lost such a wonderful person in my life, and why was his life taken, so soon? He was too young to die. Not being able to tell anybody, publicly. It was our business that he'd taken his life. People speculated because we'd said it was mental health, and then because of the inquest, we had to, wait and never knew how long it would take. So yes, for the inquest, I wrote my statement, everything that I loved about him, every bit of joy.
Tell us.
Every bit of joy, the trust and loyalty that I had with that man and in this industry, is so hard to... And I've always had trust issues, but with him, he was there for me if it was 3:10 in the morning, and same vice versa. I would know that he would pick that phone up and he would say, "Don't blooming wear that, you look an absolute bugger." He would. And it was a friendship like no other. And I said at his funeral, I said, why would he not want to be here anymore? And with suicide, it's so hard because you don't understand why they're gonna take their life, because you're there from you offer therapy. I did. I offered medical help.
So you knew he was struggling?
Yeah, I knew for a long time. Yeah. As soon as he lost his job on Strictly, and as you said on the show last week, you saw this downward spiral in him, and I said, the light went off, that magic, his mental health started to struggle. He felt that he wasn't wanted anymore. He felt that he couldn't get a boyfriend anymore. All he ever wanted was, like I said to you girls...
And you must have felt that nothing you could say would alter what was happening.
Yeah.
So the impact on you must have been terrible. It was
unbelievable because, we're all in, very happy relationships, and all he ever wanted was that bungalow, the dog, Sunday roast with his husband. He made really silly decisions, bless him, you can hear me now, with men, and I'd say, no, not this one, get someone, and he'd fall in love really, really quickly, and yeah, I just wish that he could hear how loved he was. I said that.
Do you talk to him still?
Oh God, yeah. And I love bling and sparkle, and he embraced that in me. He allowed me to have that sparkle and that disco, which was him, and he lives that legacy, And yeah, I will always have him. I said that before, that he would be my backpack in life. He's with me, and I want to keep that going forever. And if that means helping people with mental health issues, then I want to do that. And know, especially in London with the gay scene, it's quite hard, and men struggle. And if I can be there for them, I want to be, because there's not as much help out there that there should be. Yeah. And
I'm glad to hear you say, though, Lisa, that you still feel that you have his friendship.
Always.
I mean, you've lost Robin, but you still, that will always be there with you. And, and I mean, Janet, to be honest, we all get to an age that we start to lose.
Yeah, I had an incredibly close friend, Lucy, who died from cancer, and I keep her photograph and I look at it and I can still talk to her because I feel that when someone is that kind of friend that you can discuss anything with, just because they've gone doesn't mean you can't talk to them.
No.
And also, they've changed you. Their friendship has had a positive benefit to you. And I'm lucky now that my relationships with my family have been well documented. With my parents and with my sister were, you know, not good. But my relationships with my close friends have been my strength in so many ways, because if I have a bad day or I feel like low, I know that
he was my rock.
Yeah,
he
well,
was my absolute
do you
rock.
find, Lisa, because I know this since losing, you know, both of my sisters, that, like you've just said, although they're gone, they are still with you? Because on down days or things where I don't know what decision to make, I find myself going, I'm sure you do about Robin, what would Linda do now?
Yeah.
What would Linda say if she was here? Or what would Bernie would have a go at me about this?
Yeah.
And it really helps you to reach a decision, even though... And I think that's how you keep them with you.
Yeah.
Is that you still go... If I'm moaning about something, I go, well, Linda and Bernie would love to be here now moaning about that, but they couldn't. So get a grip, get up and sort it out. And it really gives you a strength.
That's
and
part
it's
of
great because it
grief.
keeps them in your heart.
As people get through grief, however we want to get through grief in our own little way, we have to remember that it is so healthy to talk about them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like you said, in my dressing room at Emmerdale, like I've got a yellow rose on my dressing table, and I'll come in the dressing room and I'll go, there he is. Yeah.
Oh.
And those little moments are so special, you know, however we deal with it. So, yeah. And listen,
Do you put your bling on? I think he'd love this.
Oh,
Robin
I
would
did.
love
Yes,
this.
yeah. I remember at last year's Inside Soap Awards, and I rang up his auntie, Alison, who I adore, and I said, I've made the decision on this frock because I know Robin would really approve. And that's the truth, because he'd be the first person that I'd go, what do you think? Is this red carpet worthy? And he'd say yay or nay. But,
Right.
Thank you so much
darling.
for sharing.
so much.
Yeah. If anything discussed throughout today's show has affected you, or if you need any help or support, you can go to itv.com/helplines, and please always talk to someone if you can.